For millions of Americans in the 1960s, they were a comedy duo that felt almost magical. Week after week, audiences tuned in to watch their outrageous arguments, their perfect comedic timing, and their unforgettable personalities. On screen, the chemistry between them seemed effortless. But behind the cameras, the story was far more complicated. Now, at 89 years old, Max Baer Jr. is reflecting on those years in a way he never has before. And what he remembers about Irene Ryan reveals a side of the legendary actress that fans rarely saw. Long before television fame, Max Baer Jr. was already connected to celebrity. His father, Max Baer Sr., was one of the most famous boxers in American history, the heavyweight champion of the world in the 1930s. Growing up with such a famous last name came with enormous expectations. Many assumed he would follow his father into the boxing ring. But Baer had different dreams. After attending Santa Clara University, he began exploring a path that felt far less predictable: acting. The early years were far from glamorous. Small roles, endless auditions, and the constant challenge of proving he was more than just the son of a sports legend. Hollywood was a difficult place to break into, especially for someone trying to escape the shadow of a famous family. Then, in the early 1960s, everything changed. A new television show was preparing to premiere, a strange and hilarious story about a poor mountain family who suddenly becomes rich and moves to Beverly Hills. The show was called The Beverly Hillbillies. Producers were searching for someone to play Jethro, the lovable but clueless nephew who believed he was far more intelligent than he actually was. Max Baer Jr. was cast in the role. Almost overnight, the show became a cultural phenomenon. Within months of its debut in 1962, The Beverly Hillbillies was dominating television ratings. Audiences loved the outrageous characters, the rural humor, and the exaggerated fish-out-of-water storylines. But the true star of many scenes was Irene Ryan. Ryan played Granny, the fiery, sharp-tongued matriarch whose energy and comedic precision often stole the spotlight. To viewers, she seemed effortlessly funny. But those who worked with her saw something deeper. According to people who worked on the set, Irene Ryan approached comedy with extraordinary discipline. Long before television, she had spent decades performing in vaudeville and theater, where timing was everything. Every pause, every expression, every line had to land perfectly. For the younger Baer, still learning the craft, that intensity could sometimes feel overwhelming. Those who worked on the show later remembered moments when Ryan would insist on repeating scenes again and again until the rhythm felt exactly right. Some guest actors reportedly found her intimidating. She was professional, focused, and completely committed to the performance. At the time, Baer admitted he didn't fully understand her approach. But over the years, his perspective changed. Looking back decades later, he realized that Ryan wasn't being difficult. She was protecting the craft of comedy, something she had spent a lifetime mastering. The lessons he learned working beside her would shape his understanding of acting for the rest of his career. In the early 1970s, Ryan left television to pursue new opportunities on Broadway, earning praise for her performance in the musical Pippin. But not long after, her health began to decline. She passed away in 1973, leaving behind one of the most iconic characters in television history. For Baer, time has brought reflection. The laughter they created together may have been scripted, but the lessons were very real. The discipline, the professionalism, the respect for performance. Sometimes the people who push us the hardest are the ones who teach us the most. And today, decades after the cameras stopped rolling, Max Baer Jr.'s memories remind us that behind every beloved television character is a story far more human than the audience ever sees. If you enjoyed this Hollywood story, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more untold stories from television's golden age.